Hai Kana. Kana, I can't hear you. Okay. Okay, maybe I can share my presentation slides first. Kana, can you hear me? I'm afraid I can't hear any one of you. Okay. 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 I don't understand, but I can. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Muniswaran Erricsson. Actually, I'm the head of training department, program division under HRDF, Human Resource Development Fund, or in Bahasa Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad. Okay, we have our title of this program, this presentation is on human capital development for Malaysia. Okay, we have divided this presentation into three main topics. The first is on the introduction to HRDF, then followed with the overview of skills need, and thirdly, guidance through HRDF industrial skills framework. Okay, let's move on to introduction to HRDF. Okay, on HRDF, we have our vision and values. Our vision is every Malaysian employee trained. This is our vision, and our mission is spearhead the learning and development of the Malaysian workforce, and it's mainly for Malaysian workforce, and not foreigners. And our core values, we have four main core values. Integrity, accountability, customer focus, and continuous improvement. These are the four main values that we embrace in HRDF. Okay, actually HRDF, Human Resource Development Fund, is actually under Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad. In short, we call PSMB. And this company was incorporated under the Companies Act 1965 on 17 April 2001. And PSMB is actually the manager of the Human Resource Development Fund. So Human Resource Development Fund is actually a levy paid to HRDF, or Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad. And the main purpose is to provide financial assistance through training grants. So the registered employers will apply for a grant, and we will provide the financial assistance. Okay, our milestone is that we started in 1993 as Majlis Pembangunan Sumber Manusia, ESM. It aimed to develop quality human capital and world-class workforce to achieve a high-income economy nation.
Excuse me. I can't hear you. I'm not sure. Is it only I have the problems or everyone else? But I can't hear you. I'm afraid that you need to log out and log in again because until now I cannot hear. Thank you.
Can you hear me or not?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay.
I do not know. Now I think you should be able to see me also. Can I share the screens again?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry for the technical glitch just now.
That's all right.
can see my slides?
Not yet, sir.
Give me a minute. I would like to share. Okay, can you see?
Yes, I think now we can see. Yeah, everyone can see now, sir.
Can where should I start again, or should I start from the beginning, or? Okay, probably I move on to the milestone. Is that okay? Anna, are you there?
Yes, sir. You can actually start from the milestones.
Milestone, great. Okay, I'm sorry for the technical
Thank
glitch.
you.
I think I had maybe my laptop just changed to new one, so I got problem with that. I'm very sorry. Okay, probably I can start again from 1993 that we started the Majlis Pembangunan Sumber Manusia (MPSM). So it was formed in 1993. It's aimed to develop quality human capital and world-class workforce to achieve high-income economy nation. So that was the original intention of the Majlis Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad, which later on become Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad. Okay, in 2001, we incorporated to become a Pembangunan Sumber Manusia Berhad after the Act. So we have PSMD Act 2001. And the main purpose it was to manage the fund, Human Resource Development Fund. The key milestone one key milestone that happened in 2011 was the National Human Resource Center, NHRC. It was actually formed to enhance the competencies, capabilities and productivities of SMEs. So it's mainly to cater for the SMEs. And in 2014, we did some expansion to the Act, and we added more subsectors. About 19 subsectors were included under the HRDF's umbrella. In 2016, we implemented HRDF strategic initiatives through consolidated fund, where we had 70% and 30% arrangement. And in 2017, we amended the first schedule of the Act, where the streamline of eligibility criteria, where employers with more than 10 Malaysian employees or more are to be registered with HRDF. In 2018, with the change in the management and as well as the political changes, so we discontinued the segregation of 30% fund collected under the levy from the registered employers human resource development levy into HRDF consolidated fund, which means we stopped segregating the fund. So we continue to make it as 100% against what we used to do since 2016. So it's no longer 70-30, it's 100% whole levy parked under the employer's account. In 2019, we started another round of reform, and we introduced strategic initiative scheme. So we revised and we reintroduced certain initiatives again. If you look at the key statistics as of 31st August 2020, we actually cover 63 subsectors, mainly from three main sectors: manufacturing, services, mining, and quarrying. Okay, these are the three main sectors with 63 subsectors. We have total registered employers of 32,143 from these main three sectors and 63 subsectors. And we cover more than 2.5 million employees. And these are the all Malaysian employees from these 33,143 registered employers. And since 1993 till to date, till 31st August, we have collected about 8.96 billion levy from the registered employers, and we have been able to disburse or pay back to the employers about 7.17 billion what do you call it, financial assistance back to the employers when they conduct training or other form of training related assistance that they are given, and it's about 80% levy utilization. Okay, now from the overview, we're moving on to the skills need under this HRDF care. Okay, what we have done is that we believe that whether on conceptual level or at the actual identification of skill need itself, acquisition of technical skills must be accompanied by relevant soft skill and in workplace application. So what HRDF believe is that though you have hard skill or technical skills, you still need soft skills. So based on that, we have identified top 10 technical skills or hard skills. Top 10 hard skills are blockchain, cloud computing, analytical reasoning, artificial intelligence, UX design, business analysis, affiliate marketing, sales, scientific computing, and video production. So these hard skills are mainly to cater for the current need of the industry. And these hard skills or technical skills have to be supported with relevant soft skills. So we are able to identify top five soft skills. They are creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. And beside that, cognitive and meta-cognitive skills also required. I'm sure the participants of this seminar webinar are aware of this kind of skills. Critical thinking, creative thinking, learning to learn, and self-regulation are cognitive based. Social and emotional skills, empathy, self-efficacy, responsibility, and collaboration we categorize under social and emotional skills. And practical and physical skills, these are the very practical skills, like using new ICT devices, use and manipulate materials, tools, equipment, and artifacts to achieve particular outcomes, responsibility, and collaboration. Okay, these are the skills that are needed, and it's not solely from HRDF. Actually, we obtain from LinkedIn and OECD report. Okay. When we looked at earlier, we looked at those skills needed, technical and soft skill, but those skills are set general skills, and it's important that each and every worker or every employee of an organization must be upskill and reskill. Okay, even HRDF is always promoting upskilling and reskilling, and this upskilling and reskilling can be seen from what we call it, from four main perspectives. Okay, we classified them under firm-specific skills, industry-specific skills, occupation-specific skills, and general skills. Okay, how do we differentiate? Okay, if you look at firm-specific skills, it's mostly is unique to the that particular the skill that is required to perform certain function, and is only applicable to certain or specific industry or specific company or employer. As for industry specific, that skill is needed for that particular industry. You can't be using the same skill in another industry. So if it's used for a production line, that skill is for that particular manufacturing line, for example. You can't be using it under the services or mining industry. So that is industry specific skill. Occupation specific skill is like very simple. If you are an accountant, if you are a lawyer, you need to have a specific skill related to your occupation, your function, your job function. You can't be using it into in another in a job function. For general skill, it is more like very much on soft skill, where everyone should have this kind of skill, like communication skill, your language proficiency, how do you, your leadership skill, how you motivate, how you become a leader in a company, how you become a team leader, that kind of skills. Those are general skills. Whichever industry you are from, whichever firm that you are associated with, whatever job that you do, those skills are still really required. So those skills, these are the skills that you need to make sure that you ultimately you give the productivity that the economy wants. Okay. Okay. Although the theory, in theory, HRDF already more than 28 years, or more than 25 years. But each industry, each company, each employer unique, and especially each industry, they are unique, they are different from another industry. So what we have done is that we had to get guidance from the industry in order to give good support or good advice to the employers that registered with us. So for that purpose, what we have done that one document, what we call industrial skills framework. Today, before I go in further on the industrial skill framework, to date we have already developed almost 5 skills framework and already published 4, and 1 is on the way. And next year we plan to do at least not less than 3 new skill frameworks for the use of the industry. Okay, what is this industrial skill framework? It's actually a comprehensive skills document which produced, or we call it co-produced, with the industrial key players and associations. It's not a document, as I said earlier, we may have a number of years of experience in their training related matters, but what is actually happening at the ground, only the employers will know, only the industry experts will know. So that's why we collaborate and we produce this document, which we believe is very, very helpful. It's become a guidance, it's a document, a reference document to any individual, any employer, any training providers, because these are our main or key stakeholders that deal with HRDF. Okay, when you talk about certain industry, what is needed? What kind of training is needed? What kind of skills are needed for that to perform a function within that industry, within a company under that particular industry is actually clearly spelled out. So our ultimate, what we want the industry to do is to refer to this document, plan their training needs, check what can be done, even as an individual. Okay, if you are an individual, you can make a decision, you use this document to make decision on education and training, career development, skill upgrading based on the sector, employment, and occupation. Okay. When you look at this document, you will see what kind of training that you should get, what kind of education that maybe your diploma, your first degree, what if you were to go into this industry, say for example, you wanted to go into digital technology, okay, what you should know, what kind of training, what kind of educational background that you should have to excel in that industry. It's spelled out as for an individual, an employee, what should they do. As for employer, it also explains you use it to design your progressive human resource management and talent development plan. Okay. every company, the skilled workers is actually something that they are hoping for. They don't have to train these people again. They don't have to do all over again. If they refer to this document, the HR and the company will know, okay, if I were to employ someone at this level, what kind of requirement? If I were to have this person in my company, existing person in my company, if I want him to perform certain function, what kind of training that this person should undergo so that he'll be ready. So all those things actually gathered from the industry expert for the industry, for the employers to excel and improve their productivity. As for training providers who are out there, they also need some kind of guidance. I just don't want to be a trainer who don't know what the industry wants. I do not know what kind of training is required for the individuals or employees outside there. Okay, so if a trainer or training provider read this document, they will know, okay, if this is the industry that I am currently giving training, am I giving right training to my employers or my customer or not? So when they read this document, they will get the insight into the sector's trend, skills, what kind of skills needed in the future, what kind of requirement for the company to improve further so that they can increase the productivity, all clearly spell out. So it's become a guidance for the industry players, including regardless whether it's an individual or the employer in that particular industry or training provider that provide training for the employers in the industry. So this document is very, very helpful. Okay, so what we have under this industrial skill framework, what we have done is that we have a sectorial information and the information gathered to provide on the industrial framework industry. So it's from the sector and the employment information. It provides a career pathway. It also provides job and skills description, and it provides the skill map, that the skill for each and every industry's occupation aligned to the subsector, critical area, department, section, everything in detail. And number 4, it also provides what kind of training program that should be given to either the new joiner or the already joined in the company, and these existing employees that should be given training so that they progress in their career, as well as if the company is futuristic enough, they even can plan for future workers where they can plan, okay, I want to have 10 employees with these kind of skills. What kind of training that I should or these people should undergo? Okay, we do have programs like future workers trainers. We do support in terms of financial assistance. Even that can be done if they read this document. And the most importantly, I think for the digital technology, we do have a particular framework, skills framework prepared or done for this digital technology. Those are the most importantly, the digital technology, it covers career path and skills needed according to position. We have under this document, we have for cybersecurity, we have games, we have data science, we have animation. These are the few things, few main items that covered under this industrial framework. We call industrial skill framework digital technology. So if you want to have that particular document, you can access to our portal, and that's the way you can get. It's parked under digital technology. It's publicly available. Everyone can have access to it, and you can download and you can read the document. I believe this document is very very meaningful, helpful if you intend to know more about what is needed to excel in this industry. I think that's all about that I have for you today. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you. Kana?
We can.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
You can see the chat function, because I would like to believe everyone going to ask the question in the chat function.
Okay, okay. Let
Yes.
me, where is the chat function?
Can you see the chat function?
I'm looking for it.
Okay, all right, all right.
Okay. What? So I don't see any question there. Okay, I think there's one question. Thank you for sharing.
We have a question from, are you able to see that?
From KLN, KPN, YMD. Is the one you're talking about? It's like HRDF collect the funds and use it to train employers and employees soft skill. Yeah, it's not only soft skill. It also for hard skill or technical skill. So we cover normal soft skill. We also fund or provide financial assistance for technical skill certification programs, even for development program. We also fund the employers if they need to set up a training room. For example, at this point in time, we know most of the trainings done via remotely. So we allow our employers to claim if they conduct training via remote method, and we also allow them to do setting of the training room to cater for remote training. We have three main schemes, what we call ALAT scheme. We have IT scheme, and we have CBT, computer-based training scheme. Okay, these three schemes mainly to cater for the setting up of the room or the computer-based training, so that the employers don't have to send their people outside from their office. They can have their training room within the company's premise and can have training within their parameter. So they don't have to let go their officers to employees to go 2 days, 3 days training outside the office. They can do it internally. Okay. Will having a master or PhD certification be a skill that is looked in for industries? We promote every employees to be skilled. So, regardless if you were to have a master's or PhD certification, if the company is willing to sponsor and the company is willing to use HRDF levy for that purpose, we have no issue. It comes under scheme Bantuan Latihan SBL under the development program. So master's and PhD certification is something that it's up to the company. If the company require a person with master's or PhD certification to perform a task in the company, and they would like to fund that employee, we have no issue. We will support. Okay, there's one question from Shazo Yamaguchi. How does data science can grow and make contribution to various industry and world? Any development program to support data science? Okay, yeah, we in HRDF we support any training related to skill development. Even data science, we do have the skills framework supports it, and the company HRDF supports the number of data science that we have. We do collaborate with other agencies like MDEC, such as MDEC, to support the industry's need. Okay, so that always we support, but it goes back to the employer, because the fund actually from employers. So we manage the fund, and under the strategic initiatives or strategic programs, we get certain fund from government of Malaysia, and we add in a fund allocated for certain strategic initiatives such as data science or digital technology, and we do support for to increase the number of data scientists in Malaysia. There's another question. Working at an event company, may I know how HRDF can assist in terms of providing training? Can you tell me more details? And I heard you are talking about HRDF funding for training room or something like that. May I know? Okay. Every company, they have their own HR department or unit to manage the HRDF fund within the company. This contributed once the levy is contributed, the employer, through their human resource department or unit, they will know how much fund is accumulated with HRDF, and they will decide whom they want to send for training and what kind of training. And they have to justify to HRDF this training is needed and is to increase the productivity of the company, and is something that will assist that particular employee to perform better. So I would suggest to I believe Gim Ka Chun. I'm sorry if I pronounced wrongly. What you can do, I would advise you to talk to HR that you would like to take part trainings, and definitely if your employer, if your company has contributed to HRDF and they know this money is available and they are willing to invest in you, and definitely your HR can send you for training. No issue. As for the training room, you can get your HR to talk to us, ask them to call us. They will definitely assist you how to go about it, and it has to be done based on the terms set in the HRDF's circulars. You can refer to our portal for more information. We have all the circulars there. What kind of training equipment that we provide financial assistance, how it should be done, and if you want more in-person explanation, we have our engagement team. You can drop us an email, or you can hook on to our Facebook or Twitter. You can send message, then we'll get back to you definitely. Okay, Fatin, I think she said, is having PhD master still relevant considering many companies are looking on working experience instead of education? Okay, it's up to the company. Having PhD or masters is actually not necessarily a requirement at this point in time. To us, technical skill more important than tertiary or what do you call it, paper knowledge. You need to have technical. Even we receive a lot of applications from our employers to send those with PhD and masters to undergo upskilling and reskilling. More so when at this point in time, the employers would like to reskill their employees so that they can be multitasked, or they can do other jobs. Maybe those work that they used to do before may no longer required, or they have to be reassigned to another job. So having PhD or masters, if you ask me, may not be relevant depending on the task or depending on the function. So if the PhD or masters is already, yeah, we consider as a skill, but is it the technical skill required by the company. So it goes back to the company to decide. And it's actually an individual preference, if you ask me. I have Shafwan. I have a question about this particular soft skill, emotional intelligence. How can you tell whether you are emotionally intelligent or not? Thank you. Okay, Shafwan, I think you should talk to the training provider whether it's really whether you are emotionally intelligent or not. But that to be evaluated by someone else. As far as HRDF is concerned, if the employer feels that that particular employee should have the emotional intelligence so that he should perform or he could perform better, and they can find another training provider or a consultant to evaluate that the intelligence of a person's emotional intelligence of a person, of that employee. And if they found that the person requires certain training so that he can improve himself, then it goes back to the company and the training requirement decided by the HR. Fatinya mentioned about soft skill and hard skill just now. What are the type of soft skill and hard skill that company are looking for in this era? Okay, I would say if you were to talk about soft skill, at this point in time, what we look at is that leadership skill. Even larger organizations, they would like to go for senior leadership programs. They would like to go for coaching and mentoring programs. They would like to go for no longer like those days, maybe due to MCO, they no longer go for team building and whatnot. They are going for skills where the employees can improve themselves in terms of their psychological, in terms of their leadership, in terms of their day by day. They can motivate their staffs in the way they can manage their emotions and whatnot. This kind of soft skills that I see receiving from the employers. For hard skill is depending on the industry and the requirement of each and every employer. If you talk about the oil and gas industry, normally they go for skills that needed in the offshore and onshore, that kind of skills. If you talk about manufacturing, they do have certain relevant skill to cater for that particular employer or particular industry. That is actually individuals, companies' preference. We always looked at the company's business operation, and we see what kind of what is the nature of the company, business nature of the company, and whether that is the skills that they require is make any sense, or maybe is it relevant for the company to increase productivity. Our main aim, if you look at our original formation of HRDF, is also to increase the productivity. So we would like the companies to use that levy fund contributed to increase the productivity by having both skills, technical skill, soft skill. It has to, these two skills have to work hand in hand. People without hard skill and people without soft skill, I don't think so it can work on silo. It has to work together. Whoever with the technical skill, they also require soft skill. Whoever only with soft skill, they also need to have some hard skill or technical skill so that they can perform the function better. Aisha asked about, because of the development, would you say that the welfare of the workers have increased or still the same? Yeah, if you talk about training per se, I believe it has slowed down due to this global pandemic, mainly due to social distancing or physical distancing. Companies do no longer want to send their employees for training as before. They would like to concentrate more on the productivity or production. If the company in the production line or in manufacturing line, they would like to concentrate on their core business at this point in time. I do not know welfare that you're talking about is anything else other than training. As far as HRDF is concerned, we are talking more about training in terms of training, whether these employees, this is kind of entitlement. If I work with a company, I must be trained. If you something that is required for your self-improvement, so that you can perform your job better than before. So you improve yourself, so that by you improving yourself, you improve the company productivity. When the company excels, you get the benefit out of it. So that is the main intention why you need to be trained. So as far as training is concerned, as welfare you're talking about, I believe that I see at this point in time the number of requirement to send for training has reduced. But I believe it's a short time, only for until things once things getting better. I think our employers are more than happy to send their employees for training, because they know if they send their employees for training, it also directly or indirectly it will benefit the company. And Joe Ho asked something. Can I ask about whether the future exchanges between NASA and every country in the world will disclose every result? We all know that many amateur researchers such as me have such a rare opportunity to contact the competition person. Is there competition? Then there may be many amateur who cannot communicate. So is there any channel? I think, Kana, I think you're supposed to answer this. I do not know. It's got, it's more for you to answer. Kana?
Oh, hi, sir. No worries. I think my team will handle this. They actually will personally text Mr. Joe to assist this on this. To the rest of y'all, do you all have any other question for Mr. Muni? I think we have one question, sir, from Mr. Gim Kachun.
Is it a must for every employee to pay HRDF salary? As I know, there's one. Okay, Gim, actually it's a compulsory or mandatory under the Act, PSMB Act 2001, for whoever meet the criteria set under the law, under the Act, to pay the 1% levy. You are right. It's actually it's not paid by the employee, it's actually paid by the employer based on the salary paid to the employee. It's 1% from the salary paid to the employee, but the money actually comes from the employer's pocket, not from employee's pocket. So unlike Perkeso or SOXO or EPF, you have contribution from employer and employee. But for HRDF levy, it only contributed by the employer. So it's employer's expense for employees' benefit. That's in a nutshell. Any other question?
How about any for the company director?
Sorry, ma'am. You're asking whether the company directors can go for training?
And claim, yes.
Yes, definitely can. Because okay, the most importantly, they have to be your employee first. I do not know if this director is not an employee of that company, then they cannot claim. If that particular director is an employee of that particular company and they contribute levy for that particular person, then they can claim, no problem.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions for Mr. Muni? I think, Mr. Muni, if there's no question, I think you can just end your session here.
Okay, thank you very much. The rest of the participants, have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muni. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.